Understanding CP, understanding the complications, and understanding how to get directions and where to go. Now, except for what you get right here, I don't know really how anybody can answer those questions because they don't have the right evaluation tools. Second of all, I can't stress this enough. Anybody who puts down words, cross-eyed, this, that, the other, and expects Will My Child Walk and expects to get any answer, there's no way. Anyone who's answering your questions based off of words and not actually seeing the way that your child processes movements, the way that your child wants to develop, the way that your child is organizing their level of cerebral palsy, they can't answer your questions, right? They just can't. I don't care. It could be the most seasoned professional all the way down to a parent without seeing a video. So I get it. These kind of questions get posted up all around social media. And they're just not helping the parent. They're not helping the child. And you're just getting misinformation. So as far as understanding CP, I would start off with my free course. You'll start to see that. But what you need to do is the newborn movement assessment. What I need to do is see videos. When you're talking that you have eye crossing in, why? Binocular vision? Are the eyes working together? Do you have issues with convergence? Is it due to muscle? Is it due to that they need glasses or they have an astigmatism? If you haven't gone to a good ophthalmologist and having a retinoscopy, again, nobody can answer these questions. Because if you want a child to walk, I don't care if you have CP or not. If they can't see down the hallway, they're not walking. And people just don't get that. And I'm talking about active passive convergence. Like I can look at you and then I can look down the hallway and then I can come back again, right? That's active passive convergence. And that's not just an eye coming in. Why is the eye coming in? Do you have esotropia? Do you have hypertropia? Do you have hypotropia? Do you have exotropia? Right? Is it intermittent? Right? There's a lot of questions. That's what I look at. That's what a movement lesson practitioner looks at. Right? You're not going to get that because most modalities, or all that I know of, don't even address vision. Right? They're just assuming it's an eye condition during to neuromuscular to the brain damage. And it's not. And the level of CP depends on how the child can issue rotations. Are we able to articulate this is the first sign of CP, the wrist, but it can't go in and out. Those are your biggest questions. If they can go in and out, your child will walk. But again, did they have respiratory distress at birth? I can guarantee you any child that did not breathe well during the first 3 months, but especially that first breath, is going to need some kind of therapeutic intervention to get to walk. Why? Because if you can't oppose gravity in your breath, then you're not going to oppose gravity in vertical movements. That's what that first breath is for. It's like, ooh, I can oppose gravity. It's the first time your baby is doing it leaving the womb. They need to do that, right? It is not a reflex. It is a functional movement that's used to organize gravity. Then you'll have the gravity reflexes kick in, and then you have, but if you can manipulate breathing, it's not a reflex, right? It comes from a palate strike, from a vaginal delivery. Again, if your child had a C-section, you're going to see complications here. These are all things, and I know it's a lot of information, but I'm just trying to tell you, you can't just put words up on social media. You're not going to get the help you need. Now, if you give me a couple of videos, I can tell you specifically what's going on and where to go, right? But if you're going to do it on your own, and you're going to do it with a bunch of people saying, oh, don't worry about it, or you'll know in 3 more months, I'm not waiting 3 more months. I'm not waiting 1 more day. Someone just wrote the other day, oh, I'll give you an update in a month. No, we have a problem here with your child. I'm not waiting a month. I hope you're not waiting a month. But if that's your call, that's one thing. But you need to start, anybody who thinks that their child is even going to have CP, you need to start yesterday. Right? Unfortunately, it's like the same conversation I had with my mother when she was in cancer, and my dad and everybody, my sister, like chemo. I saw her markers. I'm like, guys, there's no chemo. There's you're trying to, no, you know what I mean? Like she was at 4,000. She was already metastasizing for organs. And I know cancer has nothing to do with cerebral palsy. But what I told them then and whatever, I said, guys, if you wanted to start chemo, you should have started yesterday. By the time you get into whomever, the boat's left. And it's very similar with diagnoses. People wait for the diagnoses, but until a doctor's ready to pull an MRI, then you're at 18 months, sometimes to 3 years to get the official diagnosis. Then you're going to start? No. you worry about the medical situation, but you worry about how your child is going to develop. Two separate things. I'm ready to rock and roll with you, but at the same time too, please let me know if what you need to do, but you're going to have to do it with videos. Thanks.